So you can see here how the value differentials are making us money. So because we are so liked on the international arena, we're getting very good deals, which we are then buying in and then selling again on the global markets at a profit. And that is trade. Alert levels are changing. There is never a description as to why that is happening. It just happens. Oh, the British are here. What do you want? Is this going to be a good one? Oops. You are offering 12 million. You're requesting 10 million. That is acceptable, Teresa. This once I will accept. Sri Lanka, 4 million for 5 million. That is a terrible offer. No, go away. You should be ashamed. Poland, offering 12 million for 7 million. That is entirely reasonable. Thank you, Poland. Now, Poland I'm going to be a little bit more cautious about making any grand agreements with, because I don't want to be dragged into a war. And Russia is quite likely to declare war on Poland at some point. Uruguay, offering 4.3, requesting 4.8. You should feel ashamed of yourself. It's time for the return of the modern Dutch Empire. The Italians are the first to fall to our sway. So tensions are still changing. So be it. No wars yet, which is somewhat surprising. Alright, Israel coming back with a altered offer. This time, you're still offering me a terrible one. You should feel ashamed. Switzerland, 14 for 12. I owed Switzerland so much money in the multiplayer game, so I kind of want to keep them sweet. Yeah, Switzerland, that is acceptable. Japan, 70 million for 72. That is actually a bad offer, Japan. I'm going to reject that. Amend it, make it slightly more generous to us, and maybe we will consider it. Mexico, what can I do for you? You want 24 for 23. Very well, though you could do with doing slightly better. Historically, the Dutch were some of the best traders in the world. Yeah, I know. This is one of the reasons I'm playing as them in this situation. I wanted to play a very trade-centered maritime nation, and the Dutch are definitely good for that. Spain offering 9 million for 6 million. Very well. Ukraine 9 for 14. That is a bad deal, and you should feel bad. Venezuela. Oops. Offering 4 for 7. That is a bad deal, and you should feel bad. Australia, 19 for 16. That is acceptable. And as you can see, our net treasury is actually going up, because as we're buying in the cheap goods, we are then selling them at a profit. Huzzah for trade! Also, I want to take a look at our outgoings. We only have a surplus of 83 million. Most of our surplus is coming from trade, so actually the 2.6 is very low. If we wait until the end of the day, that will probably switch as we start selling some bulk goods. So here we were apparently importing something that's probably consumer goods, because we weren't producing very many. We could definitely do with investing more in consumer goods, and I think I'm going to do that in a minute. Let's take a look at another day. There we go. This time we made 11 million in profit. So from trade, we're definitely going to be turning a profit generally. I'm feeling confident enough that we can probably invest another 5 billion or so in goods production. So I'm going to invest a whole bunch in consumer goods and see if we can start really cornering the market. Well, not really cornering the market, but certainly investing rather more heavily and then selling these. So there are 3 different sizes of goods factory, each with a different price. So this is 9 million, 92 million, 900 million, so this is basically $1 billion. We'll build 5 consumer goods factories and we'll get them around Gouda. We're going to make loads and loads of cheese. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Gouda is now the center of the cheese production. Building those constructions, excellent. Diplomatic exchange is good. This money is now going to tumble, and also our deficit has now increased, because if we go to our expense report, treasury 600 million, of which 57 million a day is construction. The times when I was bankrupting the nation, that construction bill was more like 300 million. So I'm definitely playing a rather better economic game right now. So that is a lot better. Argentina is offering us 18 million for 25. That is a bad deal, and you should feel bad. Estonia, 18 for 13. Acceptable. Germany is actually offering positive. So in the test game, Germany kept on offering bad deals, and it was really upsetting because I wanted to accept them because I wanted to increase relations. Thank you for offering me a good deal, Germany. Portugal was the first to trade with Japan. I think the Dutch were second, though. diplomatic exchange is successful, so that is basically repeat trades. They were so happy with the service that we provided the first time around that they have since come back and offered another deal. And are you telling me that these are built already? You are. Alright, so oh no, those are just the industrial centres. So basically what has happened here is at the very centre of this province we have built an industrial complex. That's basically saying this tile here is designated for industrial constructions of some nature rather than military or research. So here we are building that. That is a fairly cheap building, but has to be built first. It's done automatically and then it starts working on the oil derrick. So at that point, does my deficit go? No, it hasn't really changed. The other thing I should take a look at is my tax rate. So the tax rate has gone up from like 36 to 54. At least it's not 85%, which it was in my multiplayer game. That was also bad because my net emigration was something like 500 million. Sorry, 500,000. 500 million would be rather a lot. Argentina is offering a bad deal and should feel bad. Maybe I should make a great deal with the US. Actually, the US tends to offer absolutely abysmal offers because they feel like, yeah, we're the America, we can make great deals. No, Trump, you really can't. You are a terrible dealer. You're a terrible trade person. And the foremost trading power in the world is like, no. Key bono, because it's definitely not us. It's land for who benefits. That was actually very interesting. When I was studying politics at university, I had a lecturer whose favourite phrase was key bono. He was teaching international relations. He would talk about treaties and basically who benefits, key bono, for each treaty. And we'd go through them in a fair amount of detail. It's actually a very useful very useful analytical tool. You basically look at the treaty and think, okay, these are the terms, these are the deals, but who really benefits from this? I'm not sure if it's strong and stable enough. Yeah, 500 million people would be like half the population of... Well, in fact, it would be more than the population of the USA leaving every day. A quarter of the population of China. Right, so... You are... Who's this? Oh, exchange successful. Yeah, fine. I wasn't really reading the message. I was more concerned with pouring my tea. Huzzah. One thing that we may want to do is improve the amount of money that we have and then start paying off some of the debt. It's probably another good idea. Yes, it's nice to have all these buildings to increase our production facilities. Interest payments at the moment are 25 million a day. It's not terrible. Our construction costs have gone up to 132 and our deficit is definitely increasing. But oh no, wow, that was a big that was a massive trade deficit. But clearly we are making money. Let's watch this for a moment. See what's going on here. Okay, that was a 1.3 billion positive trade. So we are making money overall, as that will tell. Tensions changing again. Successful, 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 successful. Alright, Argentina. Are you actually going to be... Nope. Argentina, that's not how it works. You don't then send me a worse deal and hope that I accept it. Iceland, yes. Iceland were one of my best friends in the test game. Auto accept. They kept on sending me really lucrative deals. Finland, also acceptable. Very well. Build a nuclear plant and sell the energy is a great tactic in the game. Yes, so I've heard, but I'm going to be working on hydroelectricity because I have some capacity for that. And also petrol powered. Because again, I have loads of fossil fuel. Not coal, but oil. Petroleum. You are offering a slightly better deal, but it's still not good enough, Japan. Come on, you can do better. Austria, 6 for 3. That is acceptable. Oh, bollocks, I meant to do auto-accept. Oh well. Right, level going down again. Can I auto-accept you from here? No. Disappointed! And the way that I realised how that worked, by the way, is if we click on Germany, for example, go to the state thing and then go to influence nations, there is actually a button right here. Auto-reject future balanced or better commodity and money offers. Unfortunately, there is not a global setting for this. You cannot just say, for everyone in the world, auto-accept the better offers. It just doesn't exist. But when you do the auto-accept thing from each individual offer, then this flag gets ticked for that nation, and that's why the positive things happen. So I spent ages trying to find out if there was a global tag for that, but apparently there isn't. Developers, if you're watching, I would like that. That would make things a lot easier, because you can basically just automate the exchange. And also another thing is you don't need to tell me diplomatic exchanges for trade goods are successful each time. Just, it's not useful. Oh, no longer receive this topic. Hold on. Well, this is a diplomatic exchange. I don't know if that's going to count for any other kinds of diplomatic exchange. So I still want to know about whether they've been accepted. Or actually, I'm just going to assume that they've been accepted. Ah, okay, that gets rid of those, so we don't need to just keep ticking through. Excellent. Okay, so we could now pay off one of the loans, but we remember we are a cash-heavy society. We need to make sure that we have a lot of cash in reserve so we can keep these trade deals going. Because each of these trade deals is not a one-off offer. It's not, here's 50 billion for this, or 50 million for this. No, it's an overtime. So they're basically saying we will export 10,000 tons of agriculture every day for $10 million a day until the total number is reached. And you will have a couple of countries which renege on that, though it doesn't happen very often. War declared, here we go. North Korea has declared war on South Korea. Okay, so here we're going to condemn this. North Korea, you're being naughty. So North Korea is now at war with South Korea. So we can go over here and we can kind of watch the borders change. And if we were actually allied with one of these, then we could actually see the troops moving around. So there are a couple of things to know. In my test game, South Korea beat North Korea. South Korea then allied with India versus China and won. So China was then carved up between South Korea and India. The other thing is, over here, we have this slightly weird coloured nation. This is, in fact, ISIL. ISIL, in the multiplayer game, conquered Syria, and they conquered Turkey. And they were kind of knocking on the door of the Balkans. So that was kind of worrying for our Romania player. So ISIL, don't underestimate them. They're kind of powerful. And very often they and Syria go to war. Fairly near the beginning. Japan, are you offering me... There we go! Now you understand how this works, Japan. You're offering me 400 million for 300 million. I can accept that. That is agreeable. And because I'm doing so much diplomacy, like all of these trade deals count as a successful diplomatic treaty, my trust in the world goes up, my diplomatic ratings go up, and the amount of trade subsidies, that's technically what these are called, goes up too. So the deals get better and better and better, so long as I don't renege on any of my deals. And actually, you'll remember I talked earlier about having failed to pay off one of my loans, or rather pay off the interest for one of my loans, and that tanked my credit rating. I think it was actually 105% down to 0 in just one loan. That's how it works, guys. Credit rating is a gradual thing. If you fail to pay one off, you still have others, and it's only one interest payment. Your rating does go down, but does not go down to 0. What was I trying to say? Right, the quality of the deals will go up over time. So even if you renege on a commodity agreement, which are these, that will tank your credit rating, but it will hurt your diplomacy, but not to such a massive extent. South Korea is offering a lot of goods. And you're at war at the moment, and you're sending me a positive deal. You probably like the fact that I condemned the attack on you. This one, however, is a bad one, so I'm not going to accept that. Like I said, I'm a ruthless trade nation here. I know you're at war and you're probably in desperate need of these goods at a decent price, but I'm not going to do it. Oh, whoa! Trump's gone to war. Okay, I've never seen this before. Sorry, USA, but I'm going to condemn you. Wow, Donald Trump hates me. Oh, screw you too, Trump. Turkey, offering me 2 for 3. That's not how this works. Iceland, you're the one I just forgot to auto-accept last time. Totally acceptable. So the USA went to war with Cuba. I've never seen an aggressive USA before. This is going to be interesting. I bet Canada's kind of going, and Mexico more importantly. Guys! Why is France the same colour as Britain? No, they are still separate. They're just oddly similar. Right, so I am now feeling confident enough with the amount of money that we have in reserve from all of these excellent trades that we can go ahead and repay I was going to say that we can go ahead and repay a loan, but I have a feeling that my cabinet guy's already done it. Hang on, what? Are we seriously debt free? And if so, how? I'm not debt free, it's just not appearing. Yeah, it's there. We haven't paid any of them off. Well, that would appear to be... Oh, there they are. I was going to say. Slightly concerned. So this one is 22 billion. We're going to go ahead and pay that off. So we'll lose a chunk of change. And one of the loans will go away, which will improve our credit rating and also reduce the amount of interest we are paying. Marvellous! ISIL's got no debt, financial masters. Or they're just selling all the artifacts. The UK definitely would not be fine in a nuclear war. They're a nuclear power, they'd be one of the first targets. Now, here's an interesting one. Hungary is trying to sell me some of their old equipment for a lump sum. So, this is actually a poor deal, but it's for gear. I'm not a military nation, so Hungary are probably trying to sell these off so you don't have to pay for them. But no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to accept that. This one, though, is also a bad deal, and you should feel bad. So for the equipment deals, I kind of expect them to be bad deals in terms of worth. And the reason for that is this stuff's already built. You don't need to wait for them to be built. They just need to be delivered, which does involve walking across to your nation with those units. But they are yours. Our military advisor is clearly feeling a little bit threatened. So he has started to activate some of our military forces so that they can be in the important locations and entrench a bit. I'm not particularly happy with that though, so I'm just going to select all of these guys. I'm going to go over to the Orders tab, which is this one, and I'm going to click on Reserve, and I'm just going to tell them reserve in the nearest base to this central point, and they should then all disappear into Amsterdam or Apeldoorn or wherever. So I'm not paying for them. I don't need the active units. Is weed an economy? I don't think so. You can make fun of Captain Cheeto. That's a great name for him. I've not... Oh, yeah, Guantanamo. So the Cubans were like, okay, then, if you're going to invade us, then we'll retake Guantanamo, because America does start off with a tiny little corner of this, which is Guantanamo. So this little bit of America slowly disappearing. So Trump, you're losing. You've actually lost American territory. Well, least American territory. Okay, Kurdistan, what are you offering me? You are offering me 36 for 37. That is a bad deal. And then Jordan, 29 for 37. That is a bad deal. These deals are getting worse, guys. I'm not appreciating that. Our production of consumer goods is way up. How? We're still building them. They're almost built, but we're still building them. Are the petrol things done yet? No. So some of our industries are going to get done soon. Shit. Well, that's game over. It was going so well, and now I understand why France hated us. Oh. Actually, France can't get to us. Germany, how you doing, buddy, old chap? Old thing, old bean, old thing. How about a mutual defence? Huh? You would accept this. Hey, Britain, I know you're wanting to get a crack at your old enemy, eh? Plus, you know you love us. Oh, yes, you do. Belgium, I'm not going to accept an alliance with, because that would give France a way in. Denmark, buddy, old chap, old thing, old bean, huh? Mutual defence? Yes. Nice. Sweden. I don't think I've actually done any deals with you yet, Sweden. How about non-aggression pact? And mutual defence. You would. And free flow of labour. Send. Who are? Italy, of course, Italy. Buddy! How you doing? Mutual defence. Oh yeah, you would. Right, I don't know if those will actually work straight away, but they might. So, next up. France has declared war on us. Trade with Malaysia has failed. That's unfortunate. Ireland is off. Hello. Sometimes this just doesn't work. Just double click on it. Is offering 30 for 37. That is actually, sorry, Ivory Coast. Very similar flag to Ireland. I'm going to reject that. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so first of all, we are going to select all of our military. We're going to select our planes. We're going to go to the reserve units. And we're going to deploy. Oh, wait. Some of those were troop carriers. You and... So if I clear your orders, will you then redeploy? No. Well, I did not mean that. So you go and reserve again. And the recon drone. Sometimes the order thing just isn't here. I don't know why these order tabs sometimes just change. Like, how do I tell you to go and reserve now? Oh, it's because I didn't have you selected. But select you. Nope. Yeah, sometimes this interface is just like, what are you doing? Anyway, interceptors. We are going to select our fighters and the multi-rolls. Ooh, wow, these multi-rolls are excellent. Oh, those will be Eurofighters. No, they're F-35s. But not you. How do I deselect you? Ah, right. Try that again. Select, 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 select. Not the helicopter. Oh, bollocks. Selected the helicopters. So the military interface I am still getting to grips with. The economic stuff I've spent a fair amount of time with. This stuff, not so much. So I want you guys to take off and fly around there. We're going to turn speed down to normal. And hopefully we're going to start shooting at them. So planes. Patrol plane. Can I please tell you? There you go. Reserve. Wherever there. Deployed units. 2 helicopters. You and you. Again, the the orders thing have disappeared. Why? Wait. Why is... Oh, why... What? Why are some of you in Aruba and Bonaire and Curacao, and what the fuck are you doing over there? Why are you deployed in the Caribbean? I mean, really? Actually, the French have some bases over there, but still! Bad. You should feel bad. Alright, screw this. I'm going to go to you, and I'm going to say maximum initiative on all of those forces. Medium on military. Then the other thing I need to do is go to the ships, and this is one thing I do better understand. So we're going to select our submarines, and we're going to tell you to deploy out to about here, because I'm expecting an amphibious assault because they do not have access through Belgium. Then we're going to select our destroyers, and we're going to deploy you to the Dutch waters, and we're going to try and intercept any naval invasions. So here come the aircraft. Okay, our aircraft are now shooting them down, and we have a couple more out. So we're just letting our Minister of War handle the air stuff. We have some planes coming through. We have these guys shooting. The explosions are basically showing battles happening. Here comes the Navy pulling out ports, and we're going to head over, probably to over here, just to make sure that we can control the coast. Although we do need to be a little bit careful about air bombardments. Obviously I'm going to condemn their horrible declaration of war on a peaceful trading power. The next thing I want to do is have a word with you, UK, because I did not get a notification saying you refused my mutual defence. Would you accept an alliance? You would. Formal alliance with you. Formal alliance. Germany would not accept. What about an embassy? I just realised we don't actually have an embassy yet, which is a bit weird. Italy, buddy. Alliance? Alliance. This is all stuff I should have done before I actually went to war. Alright, so there is a lot of air fights going on. They are starting to hit our countries with missiles. Here come the submarines. Oh, that's a French carrier. No, it's not. It's a French Mirage. Those are just my destroyers. Right. So you guys are going to need to pull back a bit because currently you are in range of their missiles and stuff. So we're going to back you off to here. We're going to stay in the Dutch territory because that means that you will remain in supply. Meanwhile, the submarines, which are invisible, we're going to select our submarines. And we're just going to have you patrolling the coast, like out here. Yeah, those planes really are just trying to target my ships right now. So I'm kind of tempted to send the ships home. We're definitely doing some damage to their aircraft, which is nice to see. We haven't seen any French transports coming out yet, so clearly they're still massing themselves for that.